this is Tom from Mac Arms, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to install a free float rail onto a AR15 sporting rifle. The upper that I'm actually going to be installing the rail on is a bull barrel, and I'm also going to verbally tell how to install it onto a more common birdcage flash suppressor, A2 style upper. So, couple things about the free float rail. If you saw in my two-piece handguard video, some of the reasons why people want to install those is for the accuracy with the vibration of the barrel. And so, as you can see on this one, it's touching the barrel in the two different places. So, free float rails come in kind of a lot of different designs and different makers and manufacturers, and when you basically pick the one that you want, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Number one are your front sights. So you have to be kind of careful because this is a 20-inch barrel, and so just about any handguard that you buy is probably going to fit before the A2 sights. So something like that will fit, but most of the people nowadays usually go with the 16-inch barrel just because it's lighter and more maneuverable. And so if you have an A2 front sight on there, usually the handguards are going to be a little bit longer, and what you basically need is the gas block that's going to be called low profile. So it's going to get rid of this A2 sight, and it's actually going to be more like this, where the rail can just fit over top of that. To get started, what you want to do first is push down the delta ring, or you can use the AR15 delta ring tool. And then this side will pop off, this side will pop off to expose the barrel. Next thing you want to do is a lot of these standard type AR-15s come with the birdcage flash suppressor. And they're very easy to take off. You just get a wrench and they unscrew just normally. There is going to be a washer that's on the bottom of this. A lot of times there's a crush washer on there. So just make sure that you know which orientation it goes, because it's kind of tapered. So when that comes off, then there's two pins that hold this A2 sight on there. And they're going to be two pins. One of them's right here, one's right here, and they are also tapered, so you want to make sure that you punch them out the correct way. I've seen them both ways. I've seen them where one punches this way, one punches that way. So you can either call the manufacturer and figure that out, or you can use a caliper and then measure the length of one side versus the other, and it will be tapered on one side. So that's the way to punch those out. And I usually rub a little bit of gun oil on the barrel, and then you give this a wiggle when those are punched out, and that should slide right off. Alright, so I've loosened up those screws, and as you can see, that stuff just slides forward. So here's the gas block, and the gas tube will just slide out with it. A lot of that. But in general, what you're going to find is a nut to replace the old nut. And so you're going to see the thread on the inside of it. This one has the thread on the inside of it. And so this is the piece you're going to want to work with first. And so this piece is actually going to replace, so this just goes right on. And you can screw that all the way on. And so you're going to want to use the armorer's tool again, and on the other side you're going to see that it's got these three little notches. Those are the little notches that are going to fit inside of those, so you can crank that thing down and tighten it to specification. And you're going to need a torque wrench. A torque wrench kind of goes right in there, and you want to set your torque wrench to about 35 pounds of pressure, and you want to crank that thing on. So let's give this a shot first and then see where we're at. So I'm just going to go on hose. So I had the 35 pounds of torque on that, and then what you want to do is you actually want to check the alignment of the gas tube. The gas tube actually goes into this hole, and you want to make sure that this hole is lined up with the hole that goes inside to the receiver, because it goes and it actually lines up right there. I'll show you when I put it through. So you want to hold this up to your eyeball. Let's see if I can get the kind of the right angle, but You want to look through it this way and make sure the holes are lined up right there. So just take a quick gander. And I got them pretty darn close. So I'm going to see if that just slides right in. So then you're going to take your gas tube assembly and just check to make sure that that is lined up with the proper hole. So it kind of goes in there. And that just slides right in, so I'm happy with that. So underneath, I'll give that a little move and you can see where the gas tube goes. The next thing you want to check for is actually put the bolt in and just make sure that you feel where this is. And you want to just feel to make sure that that does not rub or hit the gas tube at all. So that's totally clean, totally clear. And then I am ready for the next step. So. Okay, so the next step is to actually put the rail system on, and so this just kind of goes right on. And then this one's a little strange, so this one actually kind of goes with this piece and then tightens up on this, and this is what holds the rail to the nut. And again, got pretty lucky with that. So that goes all the way in, and then and usually what I'll do is before I tighten this thing back up again, I'll actually tighten this up. And what I usually use is the strap wrench, and like this, just a little strap wrench. I'll strap that over that and give that a nice little good crank on it. And then all I need to fix now is I just need to tighten those two set pins down and make sure those are tight. Put them back together. And we should be pretty much set to go. And there is the installation of a free float rail on a modern AR15 sporting rifle. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you may try this endeavor on your own and see what happens. And happy shooting. I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.